I'm on the gravel.
All right, so I'm all Courtney got us all cracking up over here. But welcome everybody to Are You Well Wednesday, and Are You Well Wednesday, and it is Wednesday already, and we are very excited tonight to be talking about a wonderful subject here, something that affects us all, and it is skin. And the different Courtney, I can't with you. I'm sorry, guys. I'm just laughing here. So we're discussing skin health, skincare, and we're going to go over all the different vitamins, minerals, different products and stuff to help with your skin. So to get her started here, I have three wonderful, beautiful faces on here, and I'm going to let them introduce themselves. So we're going to start off, Mr. Courtney, Antsy Pants over there. Would you like to start it off?
So like I'm in nature. Clearly you can see I'm out here, and like I just found this new spider bug type looking thing, and it got me a little freaked out. So I feel like something is crawling on me right now. So I was sitting down, but I can't sit down when
Speaking of skin.
Yeah, speaking of skin. But no, welcome to Are You Well Wednesday. Happy to have you join. And we're just excited to be talking about skincare today. And invite some people, tag some people. I know a lot of people are worried about their skin and wanting to have really nice skin. So we're definitely going to get into that today. So let's get it cracking.
Okay. Tracy's up. Go ahead, Tracy.
All right, you guys. This is Tracy, the Reset Coach. How is everybody doing? We were cracking up behind the scenes because of our brother out there in nature. So I still have a chuckle in my heart here.
I'm right with you, Tracy.
Bugs, but we are here talking about skin, you guys, and I'm excited to be here tonight. So how's everybody doing?
Thank you so much, Trace. Great to have you on.
Thank you.
Miss Mai.
I guess it's my turn. Hi, everybody. We are excited to be here talking about skin, the largest organ of our body, and how it protects us. So let's get started. Go ahead, Heidi.
All right. So we're going to go over a few things here. We had a little bit of technical difficulty, but kind of fast forward stuff. So like Mai said, the skin is the largest organ on the body. And so what does it do? Our skin protects us, right, from outer elements. It helps get any germs, anything like that that's coming in inside. So a big important part, right? So we got to keep our skin healthy, considering it is keeping us and all the bad elements out. So we were talking about vitamins, and some of the vitamins that are crucial for the skin are vitamin D, vitamin C, vitamin E, and vitamin K. And we was talking behind the scenes there about vitamin D and how crucial it is for vitamin D. And Tracy, I don't know, I think that you guys have frozen.
Oh, I'm still here.
Oh. Okay.
Yep,
if you want to go on, mine's frozen a little bit. This weather is making for not so good internet. But if you want to go on, Tracy, and
Sure. I think we're losing Heidi a little bit, but we are talking about vitamin D. And the one thing that we were talking about behind the scenes is vitamin D. For one, your biggest source of vitamin D is the sun, as many of you know, but you can also supplement your vitamin D. But one thing that I was mentioning behind the scenes was that vitamin D is also crucial for your immune system. There have been studies that have shown of late, because of this pandemic and the coronavirus, that vitamin D has been essential in the recovery from the coronavirus. So they have found that people who have lower levels of vitamin D had a harder time recovering from coronavirus versus people that had higher levels. So just something to mention. The other thing I wanted to mention about the skin, because we were talking about the largest organ in the body, is that it also is an indication if something's happening internally. You know, if you get a rash, marks on your skin, sometimes that's an indication for us to know what's happening inside. So pay attention to your skin as well when it comes to that, and go to your doctor.
100. And basically what I had thought about as far as like skincare, a lot of people are, interested in vitamin D, getting some, fresh air, getting some sun. And I had mentioned that just make sure that you're protecting yourself when you're out in the elements. It's really no different than like we had a water challenge last month, and it's like in I think most areas of the country right now it's pretty warm.
Mhm.
So you kind of have to protect yourself and make sure that you're hydrating correctly. It's the same thing for like if you're going to use sunblock, if you're going to be in the sun, just make sure that you're protecting yourself. And you know, but for me, as it relates to like movement or physical activity or exercise, whatever you want to call it, um, I've actually found that it's for me, it's mostly more beneficial to work out or move outside in the sun, in nature, because it seems like it helps me with the mind part, in terms of like the mental and the mood. So when you think about your mood, your vibe, your energy, when you move and you're exercising, obviously your endorphins are gonna increase, mainly because you're elevating your heart rate and different things like that. But I also think that nature and vitamin D, the sun, getting like some sunlight, I think that enhances that part as well. So I know it's not for everybody, but I definitely would encourage our clients, and I encourage people, that anybody that will listen, to, even if you just go outside for a walk, and get some fresh air. Say you're going to go to the gym or something like that. That's cool. But I still think that it'll benefit you in many ways from a mental standpoint to just get some fresh air outside.
Awesome. Sorry about that, guys. I am back. I don't know what happened, but my computer decided to boot me off. So I don't know what part I missed there, obviously, like about the vitamin D and how crucial it is to get out and if you are going to, we talked, I don't know, Courtney, if you hit this, about protecting your skin when you are out. You can still get your vitamin D, you can still get your rays, and depending on your pigment, utilizing sunscreen. And obviously, the more sensitive your skin is to the rays, the higher UV that you want to use as far as sunscreen. So very important that you protect yourself. We was going over the usual dosage that is recommended for vitamin D is 600 IUs per day. Again, I talk to your physician. There's tests that they can run to see where your vitamin levels are and what might need supplemented. So when we talk about that too, and when also too, if you're pregnant or over 70, those IUs should increase also. And Tracy, I don't know, when you was talking to talk about how much, how important vitamin D is also for the immune system.
Yep. Yeah, we did. We actually went over that.
Okay. I was just trying to catch myself up here.
Yeah.
So Heidi, outside of vitamin D, sun, water, what would you say are like some things that people can do to to improve their skin? Like it's obviously a big thing. Like many people want to look young, feel young. We are finding that many people are living longer. So my thing with living longer is if you're gonna live longer, like you don't want to be like sick and you're living longer, right? I mean, maybe you do, but like how can you live longer but not be like 70 years old and like you're like extremely sick? So you're like sick from like 70 to like 95.
Right.
You want to be sick for the last 25.
Yeah.
Whereas maybe you can push that out to where it's like, okay, I'm living to 95. I want to get to like 90. And like 90, I could still go for a walk, you know what I mean? And maybe those last 5 years, like what are some things people can do like outside of those things? And maybe you were going to get to those things, but I'm curious to know as well.
No, thank you for asking that, Courtney. And, here, some of the do's and don'ts for skin is, again, limit direct sunlight, okay? The more you're in our body, we're a cellular being, right? And when you have to have moisture in those cells all the time. water, as we know, it is directed a certain way. It goes in through cells, which expel out, towards the skin. Many studies have been. It's very important, regardless, to get your water in. But many studies have been how direct is water to the skin. Okay. So here's some things here too. When you're getting when you're taking a shower, try to make it a little on the cooler side. We know that extreme heat will dry out sensitive skin. So we have to, there are so many different, under the skin you have your epidermis, your dermis, you have the part with your glands. So there's different skin types. You have oily skin, you have dry skin, you have as a so-called normal skin. So like, where do you fall? Does somebody perspirate a lot? Is there sebaceous glands? They might have active sebaceous glands. So these are all very important to know. Number one, what is your skin type? Okay.
Yeah.
So just like hair, okay, we want to talk about hair, nails. It's all cellular, right? It's all made up of cells. So a lot of times if we have dry hair, anything, what do we want to do? We want to add moisturizer to it, right? And that has to come in within your system with like your omega-3s, your fish, your great oils, your fats, healthy fats. And you have different lotions and stuff, okay, that we're going to talk about that can help keep that moisture in. Because when your skin does dehydrate, if you notice, if you go to the hospital or sometimes somebody's dehydrated, they will do a pinch test like this. They will pinch, and they call it tenting. If your skin stays up like this and is tented, and it don't go back and stretch back, then you are dehydrated. That is one good way to check and see if you're dehydrated. Courtney, you're muted.
I'm sorry.
Okay.
So if you pinch your skin, and if the skin goes back to its form fast, that's good.
Yes.
That's good.
If you pinch it, like, I don't know if you can see, if you pinch it like this and it stays up, see how it went back down? So I have my skin's hydrated. If it stayed up like a tent, that's where they get the tenting. Then that means it's dehydrated.
Oh wow! So everyone watching, that's a great way to know. I think for the most part, if you're, well, maybe you don't know. I mean, because we did the water challenge, and some people were like, I only drank 1 or 2 bottles of water a day. There were some people that only drank 1 or 2 water bottles a day, like I mean, like 16.9. There were other people that were already drinking a lot of water, but no, that's a great way for the listeners to go ahead. I didn't know that, so
yeah.
Thanks for sharing that, Heidi.
It more because the older you get, we start losing that moisture. We start getting wrinkles. It's almost, I want to say, it's almost like a padding under a carpet. Once that starts getting wore down, it starts wrinkling up a little bit. So as we get older, so how do we keep that padding underneath nice and plump and full? And then those are a lot of people that are going get those injections, and that's what they're doing. They're doing these collagen, injections and the retinol. So, but we don't, I mean, that's everybody's choice. But if you want to do it naturally, here's how. When you look at somebody in their 90s and they have wonderful skin, let's look at the habits that people are doing. I was my grandmother had beautiful skin up to the time she passed away. And from the time we was little, she was showing us skincare. Like whenever we got out of the shower, before we patted all the way down dry, we put lotion on to capture that moisture in our skin. Every time I wash my hands, I use a lotion.
So time out. So you actually you actually recommend put lotion on, like, because I always thought you get completely dry and then you put lotion on. Is that so? You should not get completely dry. You should like get somewhat dry and then put lotion on.
Right. So it's a little bit of the water that's on you, and then in these lotions and stuff, they have humectants and they have emollients, and what that does is trap that moisture onto your skin.
Okay.
And if you know, like if you would take right now, your hands get dry when you're in the wintertime. Not much humidity, it's dry, it's just, in the wintertime, you're in a dry house, you start getting a little bit, your skin's real dry, it starts cracking. That's because you need moisture. Now, again, knowing different types, somebody might have very oily skin. So it's very important to rate any products that you're going to get. There's different things for different skin types.
Right.
Because you might have somebody that has overactive sebaceous glands that produces a lot of oils all the time, so they have to continue to keep cleansing, and they have to use maybe a moisturizer that is kind of like I don't want to say a dehydrator, but it don't have all those other oils and stuff with it.
Yeah.
Hey, Heidi.
Yes.
So I have a question. How can you figure out what type of skin you have? Because you said there's oily skin, there's dry skin. Is it just as a matter of just looking at it, or is there like a scientific diagnosis, or how do you tell what type, and how many types of skin are there?
Well, the best way that I tell people, if you're really unsure, which visibly somebody can see, a lot of times if you get somebody who is prone to acne, usually they have overactive sebaceous glands. Their body is producing so much oils and it's trapped in, so they have a lot of acne. Okay, so somebody like that, you'd really want to be careful on the lotions and the oils that you're piling on, and something that if you see, let me see here, there's some like right here, I don't know if you can see,
There it is.
There you go.
Sodium.
Yeah.
Sulfate.
Okay. So there's some topical ones that you can do. You have your astringents, your witch hazel, stuff like that you're cleaning. But the best way that I can say, if you don't know, then really seek a dermatologist. We go see heart doctors. We go see all kinds of doctors. Go to a skin specialist is what you need in your dermatologist, because number one, you really, it's very important with skin cancers now, and it can hit anybody, any skin type, so skin cancers are very hard. So it's very important that you form a relationship with a dermatologist anyways, and you can ask them, hey, what skin type am I? And usually, like I said, you'll have dry, you'll have oily, and you have normal. Usually when you're getting those products and stuff, those are the three that are usually very, that in there, like I said, you can go in more technical, but those are the three main ones. And if you see that you're constantly, if your skin is kind of oily, like and you're perspiring a lot, or you see somebody with dry, they might have their knuckles very dry. A lot of times their elbows, I don't know if anybody has ever heard of ashy elbows. They might feel like the ash, that they have to put there. A lot of times in different times of years, people's elbows. So again, your cells, and when your cells start drying out, just like the cells in your hair, if you look at your hair and what do you want to do, once it starts breaking down, or if it's rough, somebody that's a hard worker and they're working hard with their hands, they're roughing up those cells, so that moisturizer kind of coats those cells. I hope that answered your question a little bit.
I have a question for you, Heidi, because you
Mhm.
mentioned collagen, right, and plumping up the skin. So what do you think about, I know collagen is a big thing now. What do you think about collagen supplementation?
Um, I'm not, as far as injections, and again, this is just me personally, whatever anybody does, not being judged there.
Mm-hmm.
Injections, anything that is a foreign object kind of that's going in, um, I'm not totally, I wouldn't feel comfortable doing that, or
Mm-hmm.
nor would I recommend it to somebody.
Yeah.
And again, if it makes you feel better and you do it, then have at it. But doing different products, and again, they're only kind of masking. Like I'll show, here's one, Revitalift. This is deep set wrinkle repair.
Mm-hmm.
So you get some of these products that have some of this in it, and I don't see no problem getting that with like surface and just adding and plumping out. Some of them are temporary. They
Mm-hmm.
have even formulas that you could put in your little wrinkles. And I think that with your nutrition, with your diets, and you getting those omega-3s in, and your water, and sometimes it's just genetically that a
Mm-hmm.
genetic breakdown that some are blessed to look like they're in their 20s till they're
Mm-hmm.
90, and some not so much.
Mm-hmm.
But these products, like I said, external products, I would say yes, creams, lotions, anything like that.
Mm-hmm.
I definitely would be for injections. Like I said, there's risk to those. There's
Yeah.
paralysis and stuff. So to me, it wouldn't be highly recommended.
Okay. Yeah, because they're even coming out with them now in like pill form, and I was just wondering, like, if you thought that that was a good idea. A lot of
Yeah,
people are doing that now.
me, and I'm a skeptical on all of that. I'm really weird. Any foreign thing that goes in, I kind of, you risk other stuff, but sometimes it works for people. And at the end of the day, if it does work and it makes somebody feel beautiful and all of that, you know what I mean? That's
I would just,
totally their preference.
Sure.
and I'm kind of
Thank
with
you.
you on that. Yep, and I'm kind of with you on that, Heidi. It's like you see a lot of people do a lot of different things, and sometimes you have to be thinking about like, what are the long-term effects? Because I mean, some people use different things to enhance themselves, and it may enhance them like today, but then 20 years from now, it might make them look like they aged 40 years.
Yeah.
So
Right.
you look good. You look like you might be the right age. Say you're 50 or 60, you might look like you're 40 or whatever, but then in 10 years, the long-term effect, you might then look like you're 100.
Yeah. Yeah.
So
Agree.
be careful.
Yeah, that's just it. And like I said, it's the comfortable. What I would say to somebody if they come to me and they was like, "What do you think?" I'd say, "Listen, before you try those things that are unknown,
Mm-hmm.
let's first alter your nutrition, your diet.
Mm-hmm.
Let's add some different things to your day routine and night routine, because we all have our day routines and our nighttime before we go to bed. Let's try these healthy, natural, factors first before we dip into something that is kind of,
Yeah.
unknown."
Yeah. Agree.
Yes. Mai, did you have a question?
Yeah, so there are so many products geared towards your skin. Wrinkle this, wrinkle that, have under eye bags, all that stuff. It's like so, I guess, confusing.
Mhm.
And like, how do you know what you need? Because it can get pretty pricey spending all this money on the products to prevent the wrinkles, prevent the bags, prevent dark circles and all that stuff. Like, I know that you talked about there's genetics that play into it. There's your nutrition, and there's products. So, like, what do we do to maintain a good skin for long term and not break the bank?
Mhm.
Right. What I would say is just check, and I'm always checking for a deal. Like, I'm not like, oh, well, I'm going to go spend $200 on a product and that. I'm like, no, I got better things to do. But that's just me. So research. And again, the first thing I would do is, number one, figure out what skin type you are. You know, what does it seem to be lacking? Are you, there's different exercises too. Like, there's times at night that I go and I'm like, oh my God, I'm getting a little bit older. I'm getting a little bit of stuff under here. So I'm doing some exercises. I have, you know, a roller, just these things as we would do with our body too. Different exercises you can do. Again, if you notice, hey, I'm not really getting a lot of omega-3s in my diet, that would be huge for healthy skin. I mean, you look, when you really look too, at people that utilize the Mediterranean diet, or, you know, you have your Asians and Greek, all those that are on that sea border that are eating a lot of fish and a lot of that food. And you notice a lot of them, their facial features, like, they look so young. Like, their skin just stays so beautiful. And I truly think, again, genetics, but I truly think too, it's that diet that they're, you know, that they have. And, you know, watercress or any of that water, you know,
Hey,
water foods that
hey,
they're
Heidi,
eating.
I wanted to add something too, like, because usually whenever I think of skincare, I like think of your face.
Mm-hmm.
I usually think of your face, but also too, like, people's, like, their other parts of their body, as far as skincare goes. Like, I know a lot of people are usually worried about, like, women in particular, like their triceps area, like the back part of your arm back in here. You know, that's an area that a lot of women and people, they take interest in. And you mentioned it as far as, like, exercising and different things that you can do to kind of, like, tone certain parts of your body, you know, versus.
No.
Did I go out?
Looks like you're back.
Keep
Okay,
going.
I'm back. But yeah, I was thinking that, you know, before you try, because a lot of people will try different surgeries and different things like that, and, you know, try to do it the natural way, like Heidi mentioned it. Try to do it that natural way first, and then exhaust other ways. So I was just going to add that.
No, Courtney, I'm glad that you mentioned that, because I'm going to go over some things. You know, like I said, we talk about, first thing we worry about is wrinkles or tautness of the skin and all of that. But here's some other ones. You get rashes, okay? Dermatitis, and I wrote these down here so I didn't forget. Eczema, which is skin inflammation, psoriasis, dandruff, acne, cellulitis, skin abscesses, rosacea, warts, melanoma, basal cell carcinoma. Let's see here, another carcinoma, herpes, hives, viral stuff, shingles, scabies, ringworm, which is a fungal skin infection. These are all. So when we talk about the skin, we have to look. When we say we need to keep our skin healthy, we need to keep it clean. Number one, first and foremost, is we have to keep our skin clean. Okay? So bathing daily. Now, then we go into the stuff that we go first. What lotions, what that could be secondary. But number one, what soaps are we going to use? Number one, we need to get in there and wash. Now, some people, if they're just around the house and they're not really doing nothing in wintertime, they could go a couple days, because sometimes when they wash too much, their skin really dehydrates. So you have to be careful with that. But keeping these areas clean when you are out, knowing that, say, for instance, I'm going to the zoo and I'm going to be petting a bunch of things, or I'm coming in the woods and I got all these things on me. Well, I want to wash them off, because different bites, different things that we come into contact with our skin, we have a reaction to.
Mm-hmm.
So those things that I just read, people are like, "Oh God, listen, we talk about that." Well, that's the whole fact. Those are just harsh facts of what the skin is capable of getting.
Yeah. The one thing I want to mention too is, I'm a big proponent of cleansing, but just cleaning out your gut, because gut health is really associated to your skin health as well. So if you can do a detox, and that goes with the food too, right? Because you can detox with
Yes.
food as well. But to get some type of detox or cleanse going where you're consistently cleaning your gut, it's not a one and done type of thing, because we're always eating and we're always absorbing things through our skin. So make sure that you're detoxing so that you can clear out your gut, so that your skin can actually absorb all those great vitamins and minerals that Heidi was talking about earlier, and even the water for that matter.
That, Tracy, that is awesome that you said that, because when you don't have good gut health, you can take in all the vitamins you want. Your
Mhm.
body is not going to absorb them.
Yeah,
If
So
you have leaky gut and all that, it won't absorb.
that's right.
so is when we talk about gut health, like it foundationally, does that kind of just encompass like having regular bowel movements? Is that kind of
That's that's
a
the
part?
start of it.
Okay.
That's definitely the start of it. You want to make sure that because what you take in, right? The more we're eating green this month, and a lot of the green vegetables have fiber, which allows you to pass, all of the toxicity from your body. So if you are getting in those good foods and things that are allowing you to allow your digestive system to work properly, then what you're excreting is going to help big time. But then there's also what's clogged in there and what's been clogged in there for years, and you want to think about that as well, and how you detox to get that out even more. So that's just something to look for. I know when it comes to the medical profession, we can't actually clean our gut out until we're about 50 years old. In terms of getting like a colonoscopy, and that's when you really know what's happening in your digestive system. But if you can help it out along the way, just detox, get in some good food, make sure you get in that fiber and allow your body to release.
Okay. Tracy, there's somebody who's asking more about how to clean your gut health, and what do you mean by detox, and what can you do for it? So I think you
Yeah.
mentioned it, but could you go into more specific details?
Sure. So when you're detoxing is usually, a lot of people do many types of detoxing. So I'm just going to start with one where you're like juicing, and you're getting in greens, and you're juicing those greens, and you're getting in all the vital vitamins and nutrients from your food, and you're also allowing your body to release with the fiber that comes through all of those greens. And a lot of the juicing is greens, and a lot of fruits and vegetables. So if you can get in your juicing and detox that way you're not bringing in all of the heavy foods and all of the fats and the things that come in our food that are not naturally supposed to be there. That's what detoxing consists of. That's the start of it. But then there are also things out there that will allow you to push. And some people don't believe in this, but I've seen it. I've done it. I do it once a quarter. You can actually push out a lot of the toxicity that's in your body, but it has to be natural. Like Heidi said, I don't believe in anything that's too foreign, right? It needs to be all natural. So make sure that you're getting the right products that are going to allow your body to push out all of the toxicity that's there. So I'm a big proponent of cleansing, which is deeper than detoxing. It's cleanse.
Hey Tracy, while you're talking about that, can you
Mhm.
make sure that people know how they can connect with you? You did mention here we're very blessed to have Tracy, the Reset Coach. She's an amazing wellness champion, wellness professional, and she shares her journey every day. So if you have a chance to connect with her, she will definitely help you get on track. And for those ladies that are out there, and some men that are humble enough to admit it, if you need help, you just need, there's nothing wrong with having support. There's nothing wrong with having a coach. So Tracy, can you let people know how they can connect with you?
Sure. You can actually go to www.workwiththeresetcoach.com, and you can book a free strategy session, and let's just talk about, what you need. Or you can reach out to me via Facebook Messenger or Instagram. I am Tracy Randolph on Facebook, or the Reset Coach on Facebook, and then the Reset Coach on Instagram as well.
Awesome. Yeah, we're very blessed. We have some amazing collaborations and amazing strategic partners, as you mentioned, and of course, a founding member of the Courtney Wellness Companion. We're humbled and blessed to be able to partner with you. And so we have clients that are right in the community that if you're looking for a little bit more support, if you need a reset, and this is the one that you want to contact and you want to connect with her.
Thank you.
JC, I'd like to just add a little bit too onto that.
Sure.
Is anybody out there that has been on antibiotics and had any infection? Antibiotics really, they also kill the good bacteria in your gut. So you have to really watch that, because if you kill off all those good bacteria, you are going to have a real upset in your gut. So it's very important that anything like that, make sure you're taking your probiotics, eating your yogurt. They have wonderful supplements out there with wonderful probiotics. So very, very important to keep that in mind if somebody just fought an infection or just has been on a long-term antibiotic, just coming off of those.
Yeah.
Ferment
Thank you.
is also very good.
Yeah.
Sauerkraut,
Yes.
kimchi,
Yeah.
pickles, things like that you can incorporate into your food very easily. Add it to your salad. Those are incredibly good for your gut.
Yes.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Fermented
And-
sauerkraut is like my all-time favorite.
Yeah.
I absolutely love it.
Yes. Very good. I love that too.
Just to add to that too, because you said that, and I appreciate that, a good detox or cleanse, you should be doing a pre and a probiotic with those cleanses and detoxes anyway. So thank you for that, Heidi.
Awesome. Thank you, Tracy, for all that wonderful information. Before we end here and go over, I just want to go over a couple things. We talk about the vitamin C. These are just some people want to know, how do I get these vitamins incorporated in my diet? So vitamin C, we know, we talk about orange juice, different things for vitamin C. That vitamin E is an antioxidant. You want to get about 15 milligrams. You can find that in nuts, seeds, anything of that nature. Vitamin K, let's talk about that one real quick. That is huge because that's essential for helping the body clot. And we need to clot, because if you get cut, you fall, you get whatever, get a puncture wound, we need clotting in the skin so you do not bleed out. So vitamin K is very crucial. Also, it helps for stretch marks. We didn't talk about that. Stretch marks, spider veins, scars, anything like that. They even have some vitamin E, or if you notice, somebody might say, break open a vitamin E and put it on your scar. They really do help with those things there. So just to give you a little bit, those are the vitamins that you really want to take note to for skin health.
And then for everybody that's out there too, because you're talking about vitamin C and vitamin K, and a lot of the greens that you guys are going to be eating this month are loaded with them. So get those greens in.
Yes, absolutely. The vitamin K, kale, spinach, huge in that.
Yeah, Heidi, you put an awesome photo with all these greens in the Courtney Wellness Companion community. I encourage people that are watching this to tap in with us. It's a free community, and this is where we're holding the Go Green for the month of July challenge, and the green is for growth and good health. But yeah, that was pretty awesome, Heidi. Like, you had so many things in there that you could look at. And I remember seeing a honeydew, and I was like, "Ooh, yeah, that is green. Let me get some of that."
Well, we're so used to doing, you hear so much about, like, avocados are huge now, cucumbers, celery. You hear them, and it's like, wait a minute, I need a big old scheme for a whole month. I want to know what green is out there. So yes.
And see, for me, like, I'm like the, I'll do like almost the same thing almost every day.
Yes,
so
it is up on the screen.
I usually do the kale and the spinach and the avocado, and I'm throwing pistachios, but I'm blending mine in the morning, every morning. But that was a nice image, because then it was like, okay, mix it up a little bit, add some flavor in there, add some different things in there. So yeah, that's a very nice image of all the options that you have for this challenge, and even beyond. You know, you really should at least eat something green every day. Like that is, I don't think that's too complicated, right? Like,
there's yummy. I look in there and I'm like, I even do the artichokes, like in the jar. I'll get it at Sam's Club, the artichokes, and I'm like, and my friends are like, oh, hey, that's what you snack on, and I'm like, oh, girl, try these. And they're like, no, and I'm like, well, I'm eating them. I love them, and. My showed us that way for those Brussels sprouts. That was absolutely amazing. And the radishes, that wasn't green, but those radishes, I still love those.
yeah.
But and play around with it. Play around with the green. Cooking different ways. Add different flavors. Again, you have Miss Mai here, and that will be cooking tomorrow night.
Yeah.
And you want to check her out. And then after that, financially, you have beautiful Patricia that is going to help you financially and your wellness. So much to offer here. And I'm so excited for CWC.
What we cooking, Mai, tomorrow?
We're making broccoli beef. So we're on a healthy Chinese food trend. Last week we made orange chicken. The week before that, we made a chicken lettuce wrap. So this week we're doing broccoli beef. And if you don't eat beef, substitute it with shiitake mushrooms. That's going to give you that great flavor. That's going to absorb all the sauces. Oh my God, it's going to be so good. So I have beef and I have mushrooms. So I'm gonna try both ways and give you guys a review. But Regina gave me that idea of using mushrooms in place of the beef. So it's going to be so good.
And you know what's weird? Like talking about these vegetables, not to stay on real long, but talking about these vegetables, when we was in Washington, D.C., we went to a French restaurant, and Chris ordered, it was a cauliflower steak. And it was a thick cut piece of cauliflower, but what was drizzled on it, like the texture and the thickness, I thought it was absolutely delicious. It was like better to me than a steak. But it was the vegetarian. But you know, when you do that, like the mushrooms, or you do that, you can play and just play with flavors. And it's vegetables are so much fun. I love veggies now.
Yeah.
Always did, but
Heidi, can you review I have it here on medical news today, just the 5 things to get your skin healthy. So just
okay, let's go over. So number 1, know your skin type. Okay, so we're going to know your skin type. Check your nutrition. Are you getting these vitamins? Again, vitamin D, C, E, and K are very essential to your skin. Talk about that. I'm trying to think there in review. Learning. Definitely number 1 up there is cleansing your skin daily. Just being aware of what's on your skin, what's around your skin, the different elements, and eating a well-balanced diet and trying to avoid direct sunlight as much as possible without using a sunscreen. You should always use sunscreen protection. And last but not least, really form a relationship with a skin specialist, dermatologist.
All right. Sounds good.
And those are that. If anybody else has anything they'd like to share, but again, this is your largest organ, guys. This is what's going to keep us together.
I just wanted to mention, Heidi, the smoking. We didn't touch upon that. Quit smoking, because that's going to age you really quickly, right?
Absolutely. Number one, it restricts your blood vessels. Okay, so when you have this blood that's carrying this nutrients or this oxygen and stuff to your different parts of the body, smoking will constrict blood. And also, if you ever seen somebody who smoked a lot, when you do that thing, they will have wrinkles around their mouth, and it's from all the time. Okay, so that there, and I've seen people, I've known a gentleman who had yellow skin from where the nicotine on his fingers that was stained, not to mention every other health factor with that, your lungs and all of that, but with your skin, yes, especially if you were having surgery. Anybody that is having facial surgery, anything like that, they'll tell you have to quit smoking weeks before your surgery, because again, the biggest thing is it slows down healing process and restricts the blood in your blood vessels.
And
So,
last, Heidi, is to get your beauty's rest, right?
yes. Get your beauty sleep. And again, we talk about when you wake up in the morning, what do? Like, you splash water on your face and it feels good. It feels refreshed. Like, do that. Clean your skin. Same thing when you go to bed at night. Do you want to crawl into bed with all that sweat and anything, all the elements that's been on your skin all day long crawling into bed? I soak my night. Some people like to shower in the morning. Me, I like a tub at night and then shower off before I get into bed, because I love crawling into bed nice and clean, and I feel fresh. So
Awesome sauce.
yes,
Yeah.
what
On skincare here. I learned so. Yeah.
And write it down. We love to hear. If you have your daily and nightly routine, I put it down in the group. We want to know, what are you doing? CWC wants to know what you are doing. What's your routine? And how can we help you?
100. Well, Heidi, this was awesome. Oh, Evita, she uses J-Lo Beauty. Why am I not surprised? You get
Morning and night.
You get that J-Lo Beauty, Evita. You get that.
Exfoliating, yes.
Yes. Well, this has been an awesome. Okay, it's Tiyoko.
Yes, hi Tiyoko.
What she saying there, Mon?
Stuff under there.
Get that stuff under there.
Yes.
Awesome.
And there's so many, even like I said, it don't even have to be any crazy name brand. We have one, Cetaphil was wonderful. That one there was recommended by the dermatologist. I tell you what, one that I absolutely love, I use under my eyes, it's been around forever and a day, is Pond's.
Pond's. Oh.
Yeah, very cheap, and guess what? It is good. I got a different one. Whew, here's just some that they're grabbing. So there's so many. Anybody from Melaleuca, here's Sibella. Defense and repair. So I just snagged up a couple that I had to share, and just try them. Get information, do your research. But first and foremost, what you put in is what you are. So
100. No,
all right, guys.
This was very good, Heidi. Thank you for bringing this information. The Reset Coach, Tracy, it's always a pleasure.
Thank you.
We know you have an extremely busy schedule, so we certainly do appreciate you coming on. People definitely connect with her.
I'm not too busy for you guys.
Janelle Maple, she says Fenty Skin by Rihanna, the whole line, day and night. Okay, go ahead, Rihanna. Get your skincare on, Janelle Maple.
Yes.
All the brands are about to start coming out now. No, we appreciate the engagement. Mai Tai, thank you as well. And yeah, let's keep this thing going. Let's grow and let's have good health.
Yes, absolutely, guys. Let that skin glow. Love you guys. Thank you so much. You guys have a wonderful week.
Yes, you too. Thank you, Heidi.
And
Thank
we'll
you, guys.
see you later.